Embarrassing day, shocking day. You shouldn't be at North Carolina and lose to a group of 5 team, period. There are no excuses. Our defense, who played great all spring, all preseason, and played outstanding for the first 3 games, looked awful today. We had communication problems. We had missed tackles. We had guys wide open for a touchdown. Our special teams, who had been better than the 3 teams we had played the first 3 games, had an onside kick that hit us in the chest and they get for a score. Had a block punt that they get for a score. Jacoby, I thought, played really, really well. He even had an interception for a touchdown right before the half, and Connor came in for 1 play and fumbled the ball, and that ended up being a touchdown. So it can only come back to one person, and that's me. I've hired everybody on this staff. I hired everybody that works in this building, and I've signed every player on this team. So, I mean, the people that want to blame me, they should, because I am at fault, 100%. I missed it. We had a great week's practice. I thought we'd win the game. And we had a bust on the first play of the game with a quarterback that runs 50 yards, that somebody didn't take the quarterback. Then we have a fumble on the first drive. I mean, it was just a day that started wrong. I really thought we'd turn it around at halftime, still win the game. And because we could have, and we moved the ball at times well enough in the second half to win the game, but we still couldn't stop them. And we had to score every time we had it to have a chance to win the game. So congratulations to JMU. I should have said that. I think Bob's a really good coach, and they did a great job coaching today, and they did a better job than I did. And that's what it is. I felt bad for our fans and our students that came, for them to have to look at something like that. And again, there's only one place to put it, and that is on me, 100%. I got big shoulders, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for our whole program that we would put a product like that on the field. I feel really bad about that. So, questions?
What happened defensively? I know JMU had an extra week to prepare. Did they change a lot of stuff, or just
you can't change 70 points worth of stuff. We just didn't communicate. I don't know why. I have no idea what happened. And I sat there and watched it, and I listened to it, and we had guys in the wrong place. I thought after the first drive, they got frustrated and started trying to do too much, and then they didn't quit listening and busted assignments. So I was very frustrated. Frustrated at halftime. I thought we'd come out and stop them like we have been the second half. We did a lot better the second half, but we didn't do near well enough to win the game.
One of the things you spoke about a lot this offseason, and certainly in August, was the standard, having a different standard playing to you guys, and noting some of the losses that you've had in the past. This wasn't you guys doing that. Does that increase the level of disappointment you have that you guys lost in this manner and didn't uphold the standard?
Yes, it's easy to say it. Show me. Put it on film. That's what we say about everything, and we didn't. We talked about it. We didn't do it. And again, that goes back to me. Kids want to have a standard. Coaches have a standard. University has a standard, and none of us lived up to that standard today, which is very disappointing.
Was there a moment in the first half where things started to spiral? Was there a moment where you could sense stuff was really starting to snowball?
Yeah, we talked all week about getting a quick start in the first play of the game. They run 50 yards on a quarterback option that nobody takes a quarterback when a guy's supposed to take him. That wasn't the best way to start when you said we can't start like we did last week. So, and then the onside kick, we were screaming onside kick. And it hit us right in the chest and bounced. Block punt. They had overloaded to the right side. So we worked on it, had seen it, bounces right up and runs it in for a touchdown. So there were a lot of spiraling moments in this one.
To that point, with the onside, with the block punt, with the 70 points you gave up on defense, when you say people who want to blame you, that's fine, put it on you. I mean, isn't this also, though, a failure across the board in terms of coaching?
Failure across the board's me. I hired them all. So if they didn't do their job, it's my responsibility because I'm the one that got them here. Period. I mean, a lot of coaches don't like to say that. It's fact. I'm responsible for everybody here, and I'm responsible for the way the game went.
So, I mean, I respect the way you're owning this, and credit to you, you own the mistakes in the past, not finishing, you changed the coordinators, change kind of the culture, or just try to, so in a day like this, which feels kind of like a new low, I mean, where do you go from here? Like, what's the next step?
I go home and I start putting a lot of thought into what's next and what do we have to do to fix it. I mean, that's what's best for this program, and that's what you do. I don't get to leave at the end of the first quarter. I have to stay. Been some in my career, I wish I could have left, but I can't. And then I don't get to bitch. I have to fix. So there's differences in my job, but that's what I get paid for. One of
One
what?
of those when theoretically just leave? come
No, I
back
thought
and-
we'd win at halftime. I really did. I'm stupid enough probably to think we turned around and we had a chance. I thought it was App State in the fourth quarter even. I never think we're going to lose. But then we had a couple of when we fumbled, the quarterback fumbled and they scored easy. And there were a couple of things that happened that just really hurt us. We needed the 2-point plays and we missed 2 in a row after we scored. But they were getting tired and we were moving the ball and scoring. I got to 18. I really thought we had a chance to win.
Field goal early in the third quarter, was that you saying, look, we just get points, we're going to come back and win this
Yeah.
thing, but we got to get a little something out of this?
Yes, they had to have, it was 4th and 12, I think, or something, and you couldn't walk away without points there.
I guess game was going as it was when they started going on that run. Did you feel there was any sort of, were guys, did you feel like anyone was getting disengaged or anything like that on the field, or was it just a matter of?
No, I think they were just frustrated. They've had so much pride in this defense, and Jeff's done such a good job, and to the drastic change from what we've seen to what they just had happen, and everybody's been bragging on them so much, and me been bragging on them so much, and I mean, we didn't do anything right. I mean, it's hard to have a game where you do nothing right on defense, and I'd say in this one we did very little to nothing right.
How do you keep this game from, as you say, beating you twice down the road or 3 times, and just becoming a black cloud that hangs over these guys' heads?
I don't know. I go home and start thinking about that. I've had 15 minutes here or 30 to walk off the field and try to figure all this out, and I got to answer questions for them. I got to answer questions for you all, and then I got to figure out what happened. I haven't even seen it. So now I have to unbearably have to go home and watch it.
Is this the low point of since your return?
I don't know. There's been some. But this is definitely in the group.
Been in an outcome, especially the way it unfolded?
I think the fourth quarter at App was pretty shocking. That was one I'd never seen before. We did still pull it out. And like I said, I thought we'd pull this one out today. So I'm not ready to make statements on what's the worst day of my life yet, since I'm an hour out. I'd like to think about that before I declare this the worst day of my life.
Matt, what did you see with Barnett, their quarterback? What did you see, beyond, as you said, communication issues for your defense? What did you see were the difficulties in trying to stop him? Because he had a field day.
Yeah, he's athletic. I didn't think we pressured the quarterback. I mean, we let him throw, and when he ran good. I thought he did a really good job. I'm proud of George Pettaway. He did some good things as well.
What did the conversation look like with the team
At halftime, look yourself in the mirror. It's not good. Offensively, we've done some good things, but we've got to be more balanced. We've got to give Jacoby more time. Defensively, we've got to start over. Man, that was awful. It's a kicking game. We can't do what we did. And then you got to get yourself in a position where I said we're going to win the game, but we got to start over. You can't get frustrated. You can't get down there. Their sideline's excited, which you can't let a lesser team be excited, and we did. And our sideline's dead. And we're frustrated, and we got bad body language. The fans left. I mean, so it's you got to fight. I said you by yourself, but you got to fight by yourself to win. So.
Like the defensive troubles, what do you see happening that caused the offense to slow down?
Well, they scored 50, so it'd be hard to say they had a bad day. I don't know. Had 21 first half, so I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. I thought, we got new guard. Coach still in the press box. He's not on the sideline. We got a lot of excuses, but none of them matter.
Like you said, you haven't got a chance to look at it, but it seemed the turnovers kind of started to pile up over time. I think it was 5, toward the end of the game. Was there anything that you marked that up to specifically that JMU was doing, or maybe that the offense maybe wasn't?
I think what I haven't talked about enough is Bob Chesney. I thought he coached his team better than I did. He's an upcoming young coach that did a tremendous job. They have an outstanding program. They're very committed to football there. They always have been. They beat Virginia last year. So we knew they were going to be good coming in, but I thought he and his staff did a great job. I'm very impressed with him.
Just this game in the context of the past, 10 years of UNC football, do you think that there's a cultural or systemic issue on defense?
I don't know. I don't know that you can talk about 10 years in one day. Played great defense for 3 weeks. I know we had a bad week. This would have been the first time, and it would have been the 5th time since 1980 we've started 4-0. So we've had our struggles.
What do you say to your players to keep them motivated, keep them going forward?
We've always been honest with them. Tell them it is what it is. If people are going to be critical of you, it's fair. Don't read social media unless you want to see criticism. So that's it. I said don't go out to eat. Take care of yourself. Don't make poor decisions because you're frustrated. That'll hurt your life or hurt you to start practice tomorrow and get ready to go to conference play, because this obviously isn't a positive going into conference play.
You were talking last week about when things are going poorly, you don't want to yell at them and kind of make it worse. Sometimes you hug a little bit more, for lack of a better word. And then when it's going great, you kind of push them toward the ledge. So were you tempted today to kind of change that course, to maybe yell or unload it all?
I've had 32 years of lessons, and you don't change that one day. They were getting booed. They were getting beaten up by everybody here. They didn't need me to beat them up. I'm their only hope, and here I am. If I'm beating them up, they give up. And I can't give up. Everybody else can give up. Everybody else can leave. Everybody else can get frustrated. I can't. I got to pick the coaches up. I got to pick the players up, because that's the only chance we had to win the game, is if they hung in there. And they did. They played a much better second half than they did first half, and I'm proud of that. But we were in such a hole we couldn't get out.
Mack, what was your reaction and the team's reaction that you saw to the booing as you went into halftime?
I told them we deserved it. So that's you get what you play for. If you play bad, people are going to boo you. So I said, no. They probably didn't hear it. There weren't many left, so I couldn't hear it. It wasn't big boos. I've heard boos at Texas from 102,000. So those I didn't consider those boos. There were a few boos.
You talked about just some of the poor body language, and again, obviously you guys were kind of fighting on your own there. A lot of fans leaving. Any folks that you want to shout out on the sideline? Particularly players that were really keeping their teammates motivated and showing some leadership there.
These are wonderful kids. They let people down. They let themselves down today. So they were disappointed. They're hurt. They're embarrassed. I mean, they're not finger pointers. So the kids on the sideline in the second half tried, and I mean, we all thought we were going to win the game, and we just couldn't do it.
On a potential positive, did you kind of like how Jacoby handled some of the adversity out there?
Yeah, he made some great throws, just unbelievable throws, and that's really the first real game he started since he's been here. He started Campbell, I think, 4 years ago or something. Played one half, but he made some unbelievable throws today, and he'll just get better and better. And he saw a whole lot of looks. They blitzed him a whole lot. We'll have a running game. When we got so far behind, we lost it. We didn't have enough time to use it. So he'll have that back as he's going. But this should give him, he was the one bright spot for sure. And Omarion played like Omarion. He got 146 yards rushing. Some of the young receivers stepped up and made some really good plays. Tight ends are playing great. So we've just got to figure out what happened on defense and why we were so bad and go back to work.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.